Last night, Ficsit Incorporated hired the most questionably qualified person in the world. A jet engine lands near me house, and I kickstart man-made climate change. Warning. Show budget does not exceed 25 Yuan. Quality may be impacted. Viewer discretion is advised.
Touchdown. Planetfall complete.
Welcome to the series of unSatisfactory, where we play Satisfactory. But the reason why it's called unSatisfactory is because it's currently not very satisfying. And once we're done, it's going to be very satisfactory.
Say that again?
Go to an iron ore patch, take some X amount of damage.
It is herbivorous, and a thickly plated skull and spine.
Well, copper sheets over here. Hey. World's fastest hard drive. Goddamn.
For any recovered hard drives.
So we have 4 pieces of iron ore. I would generally recommend going to a place where there's at least like 3 or 4. Right, as I was gonna say, ensure that you have at least 4 iron nodes, such that you can reliably get enough iron for the early game to make good progress before you need to traverse a lot more. Real quickly.
Terminal and crafting bench are only the humble beginnings of a successful Ficsit pioneer, but essential for the next steps of onboarding. Once finished, the hub will function as your base of operations. Next objective, complete hub upgrade 1. Game completed. Equipment like the portable miner can now be made in the workshop. Congratulations on completing your first milestone.
Okay, shut up. Factory games are fairly, decently complex. Right, so basically, what I've done here is just the tutorial is just basically just you hand out parts that you craft. Well, craft as in you don't find on the ground like 5 seconds of the playthrough. Right, so if you have never played factory games ever before, here's lesson number 1. Always automate. Even in the early game. Minimize the amount of time you need to do thing 1 and thing 2. Because if you do that, you will have a lot of fun. Because you don't have to do nearly as much grinding. And that is with that is a very beautiful sky. Hello there! Now we're briefly going to go over how this video is going to work. I don't know about you, but I don't really like videos that go something like, okay guys, we're gonna route our iron and copper into a lasagna looking factory and I feed it into one machine. And then at the end of the video goes something like, okay, so basically I've routed our unobtainium dimethyl sulfide into our quantum rectangular hypogamma supercompressor and created 3,256 kilometers per femtosecond of truncated cube octahedrons of big chungusium. I also started the third impact. I did never explain a single thing. You can see how that can be kind of jarring. For the sake of brevity, I will skip over most of the building, but I will give you some pop-ups as to how things work, so that you wouldn't be left in the dark. Oh yeah, I should probably mention, in the early game you want to have as much machines as possible, as much as you can support, basically. I mean, that's pretty much the goal throughout the entire game. If you can support however many machines you need, then go for them. There is like a really good jump in power production between biofuel generators and coal power. We will get to that probably in this episode. Well, actually, speaking of power, I'm going to really brief demonstrate the best feature of this entire game. Ready for this? Wonderful. Isn't that fantastic? Up. 6. Tier 0 and 1 act as the tutorial of the game, introducing machines and many foundational features which will be prevalent all throughout the game. Anyways. Tier 1, first milestone done. And we're gonna have to wait, because pods don't like
milestone reached.
Foundations are very good, because you can first of all lock into something called world grid, which is very important for symmetry, and that is the general purpose of foundations, it's for symmetry. And symmetry is very good because it reduces building cost of pretty much everything ever, as far as I'm aware. And it also does that, snaps everything to a set alignment rather than having you free fall like so. And it's very good for making everything symmetrical. Also, one thing, as you can see, you can lock holograms to wherever you are. And I do this for symmetry. Excellent. Doesn't matter. There we go. Right, might as well get to it then.
Milestone reached. Conveyor belts can now merge, split, and lift to save space and enhance the productivity of your factory.
Mergers and splitters are the features most essential to building factories. Mergers, as their name implies, merge conveyor belts of items into the sum output. Splitters are the opposite. They split conveyor belts into equal distribution of items. But here's the thing. Splitters will evenly distribute across lanes assuming the conveyor belt is unsaturated. So if you have a full conveyor belt of items inputting from a splitter connected to 3 other conveyor belts, the splitter will act like it is connected to 2 outputs instead and will split in a 50-50 fashion. Utilizing this feature, you can connect several splitters in a line of machines and it will act in the same way that a perfectly calculated equal distribution system would. This is the basic principle of manifold designs, which is the easiest if not mandatory design philosophy of building large and scalable factories. The caveat is that manifold lanes take a long time to spool up. This can be mitigated using a hierarchical conveyor belt on the input lane of the splitter line. And from this, you can build mode into soup and just build as such. Build as you need. Yeah. And it's just going to be 3 simple structures. Yeah, I'm just going to put this away. Okay. Yep. Center, platform, and you, and it will. So I will build like this, and that will just help us with expandability a lot. And as I mentioned, the lanes will eventually get filled up, and you don't really need to worry about balancing. More gooder. I have respawn inventory. I did not die. You can see why this. Well, now I have to go back. Damn. Hell. Okay, I didn't expect that. Oh well. Thankfully, I have keep inventory on because there is an option to enable keep inventory in the gameplay. Keep everything. You can also set it to keep equipment and keep nothing. Then get ourselves some biomass burners. Wait, manifold mergers. What I'm reading mergers. Just so you don't have to worry about both when you cut them down with a rather than this much and connect that. Now I'm going to merge all outputs 60 per minute as I only have Mark 1 conveyor belts. I will inevitably get Mark 2s, but right now we just need them to work. I will drag the output all the way from there into near my hub. Oh well. Nothing to do, really. Can you bugger off? You and your space. belly. Okay, next. Field research. Oh, iron plates. And there's iron plates. Right then, so that brings us to our next project, iron. So, ironworks. It is, as the name implies, we're working with iron. Oh, perfect. Look at that. Right, so this is 120 per minute. And smelters support, if I am correct, and is 30 per minute. So therefore we need 4 smelters per. Right, so the first 2 smelters are going to be dedicated towards iron rods and iron plates. Those are just going to be basically passive, and we're just going to have them whenever we need them. Control C. And then, by the way, you can Control C on machines, or just go here and copy the settings, and then you can paste them, paste the settings with Control V. That. Actually, okay, this is not straight. Yeah, this is not straight.
To their mouth.
Okay, well, whatever. Anyways, we got what we wanted, so anyways, it doesn't matter. We win anyways. Right, so yeah, we now have a passive automation of plates and rods, so we can just go here whenever. We're gonna be running for a very, very long time. These two, however, are very special because they're gonna be useful for making the reinforced iron plates, which I come to realize that I actually need tier 2 for, I think. Are you sure? Tier 2 gives us access to more advanced iron products, as well as customization options. Part assembly. This is gonna be so. Let me just take you over here for a second. I will do this setup in quiet first of all. In over here, you can do what you can do instead of having loud noises playing in your ear. What you can do instead is, if you don't want to bother with math, just completely skip this part. You can go into, what is it? I'm pretty sure it's called the Satisfactory calculator. And what you can have is you can have just the calculator just calculate what you need, what you have. You can just have what your input is, and you can have what your output is. I'm just gonna type in what we have. So we have, if this is 30 per minute and this is 90 per minute. Oh, wait, it's 120. Which means this is a pure node, which means this is all a waste of time. So instead, we can do something a little bit different. Instead of focusing on making rotors, which are... Okay, so for this, I'm actually going to go back to doing a little bit of calculating. Alright, let me just make this in-game. Because this is not very complicated, not very complex. So, what I'm going to have is, for now, it doesn't really matter. Second. Hey, I see you enjoying the video, given that you're around 30 minutes into it. Now, could you spare a moment to subscribe? It will cost you exactly $0 and it would be a great help to the channel. Well, anyways, back to the video. and then all the way into that. So this will therefore produce our rotors per minute, and it will do just fine. And like that. There we go. The last thing to do is to just power it up. Gimme. Yeah, sulfur. Damn it. It's William versus Spear. Okay. Oh, hey. I found a yellow slug before I found a blue. Oh, for a blue slug. Ma'am. Now this is the map. We research stuff, we unlock stuff from said researching, and with it, we get some cool stuff. With the map, we can unlock overclocking. Yeah, so overclocking both reduces and increases power exponentially. So for example, if we want this to be a target of 20 screws per minute, we can do that now, which is great. Just casually double our power production, no big deal. Yeah. And that's the rotor done. Rotor factory done. Alright. I'm gonna call it quits from today. I am tired, it's late, and I would like to have some food. So, good game. Good game. Before we begin, I would like to apologize on behalf of your ears for the following audio. Welcome back. We're on day 2 now. And yesterday we finished up the concrete, we finished up the basic power, we finished up the basic ironworks. I also tweaked up the graphics such that the frame rate is actually pretty good while also having like decent quality. And more importantly, you can actually hear it. My voice should sound at least a little bit better. You might hear like breathing because I don't have a pop filter right now, but nevertheless, it should be better than last time. So I'm gonna do copper after finishing the reinforced plates. And this one will feed into the iron rods. Well, these will be the iron plates. This might be like at least somewhat overkill, but I don't really care. Reinforced plates are used quite abundantly in many places, and I would like to have plenty of resource for them. And we want them to make the screws. That should be good enough, methinks. But we should be done. Verticality is very, very important. I have made this mistake of like just continually extending horizontally rather than vertically, and what ended up happening is I would have to spend like a good 30 seconds just to get from one end of a machine line to the next. So don't make my mistake, make your mistakes. And I can assure you, you will succeed more than I do. Yep, okay, awesome. Next, I need to set up copper. Alright, so same as before, we want a miner. Set up. now we want less smelters, of course. So, yeah, look at that, perfect. And then, and they're gonna be like fairly abundant, like they're gonna be useful for pipes, which will come. What the f? What the f? What the fuck? Okay, quartz. It's quartz there. Right, so for overclocking, you will need to get power shards. Power shards are gotten with power slugs, you know, as the name implies. And with them, you can overclock. You can insert them into any machine, and you can increase their percentage, their clock speed with by a set amount, 150 for this example. Now for the wire. So I'll have 1 smelter for the wire and 2 smelters for the cable. Yeah, that's the plan. Making our cables. And it should be everything then. Yep. Alright, cool, excellent. There we go. Alright, everything's great and perfect and fantastic. Might as well scan this while we're at it, and this too.
The crystalline mineral was a previously unknown variation of quartz, with uniquely large and flawless crystals, normally only found in synthetic quartz. The industrial application of this mineral will follow that of specific part, display unique restoration technologies.
Okay.
This unknown element was a melody in usual mixture of solid sulfide and solid materials, so most sulfur being expected. Sulfur primary use lies in fertilizers, which can have useful. Instead, this element will also appear in highly potential. If you understand technologies were not used, by all means, learn further.
I see. Well, she's outside, so I'll animal remains are good for DNA.
Raine's research belongs to Lena, another detailed It has many characteristics that would not be classified among the family where nature. All remains denominated alien protein. Additional research may be options for improving pioneer safety and restoration.
Okay, so the map will generally give us access to a bunch of stuff. Mainly DNA for megafauna. Alien tech will give us access to a bunch of goody stuff. For example, Dimensional Depot, which will give us remote access to inventory. Nutrients, not really useful. You get access to automatic healing, I'm pretty sure. Power slugs, again, overclocks. Useful, but not too useful. Quartz is good stuff. Inventory stuff, and inventory space, faster running, and a bunch of other stuff. Sulfur is explosives. This is Caterium, and it gives us access to technologies related to electricity. And this is Mycelium, which gives us a parachute. Hard drives are important because they give you alternate recipes, and alternate recipes are very, very useful for instances where you don't have access to material where it would otherwise be needed, and you can instead use a different material for a recipe, or a more efficient recipe. And now we have access to obstacle clearing. So yeah, now we have an efficiency upgrade for our biofuel production, and it's also going to be the final upgrade besides, you know, expansion. And with it, a chainsaw, which allows us to clear mucho trees. You know, incredible. Now what I want to do is I want to do a little bit of expansion work. And these will be our biomass generators that will make it from leaves and wood. Yeah, so that will make us solid biofuel instead of regular biofuel. which will be a significant efficiency upgrade and will last longer than regular biomass. Might as well do Logistics Mark II now that we can. And it's going to be very dirt cheap by now because we have everything set up that we can progress very easily. And just shove them in.
Milestone
Okay,
reached.
well, all right. So with this upgrade, we can now improve our belts into Mark II, which will improve our efficiency of certain aspects, such as this, which has way too much output. A whole bunch of stuff will be upgraded. I will just go around and upgrade everything that I need to upgrade. All right. Then, in the meantime, I got this method of making modular frames from Gaming with Doc, who's a really good Satisfactory tutorialist, a good Satisfactory teacher. Let's just say that. He explains a lot of terms and many step processes in very simple, very layman's terms, in a very digestible manner, basically. And I would highly recommend checking out his videos if you're interested in that kind of stuff. So, that is correct. So, to recap, we're using like many of those will go towards making the place, and like so, and so make 75 minutes, and 3 will go to making the iron rods. This allows us to produce enough to satisfy 2 module frame assemblers and 1 half speed. Yep. So now we have to apply this in game. Water. Yep. A sea of yellow. Now the last thing you need to do is to power that guy. And everything activates. And there we go. This won't be useful for all too long, because we're gonna have coal power soon enough anyway. Oh, see. Yeah, so the awesome sink is just basically we throw in whatever we have, if it's excess, and we get tickets. With tickets we can buy some bonus item, some bonus things, which may or may not help with building and other things. However, none of that matters right now, as I want to build a space elevator now. And if this is enough, then, well, I just explode. Space elevator. Well done. Might as well build them. And watch in full glory of its assembly. Would you look at that? It is done.
Project assembly initialized. Congratulations, Pioneer. The space elevator will now automatically connect with the Project Assembly orbital platform. Project assembly is divided into phases, each of which require the delivery of project parts, such as smart plating, via the space elevator. Subsequent phases unlock access to new tiers with more advanced technologies to construct, automate, explore, and exploit. It is time to be honest. This project is part of the Save the Day program, the largest united undertaking in human history, destined to save us all. Earth is in peril, and only Ficsit pioneers offer hope for survival. Ficsit is counting on you. Humanity is counting on you. Do not let Ficsit down.
Yeah, what she said was, I'm pretty sure a lie. Yeah, considering how they treat me, I'm willing to bet it's just corporate propaganda. So, yeah, That's not very satisfactory of an answer. Yeah, I know. But we play the game anyway, because I do not care about the capitalistic intentions of a video game. Anyways, now we need smart plating. Smart plating is not particularly useful besides anything other than project assembly. So, we are not going to do automations for it. Instead, we are going to just make a random assembler do the job for us. But, yeah. Oh, it's reinforced? Oh, I thought it was... Okay, well... The more you know. I thought it was some modular frames. I guess not. Oh, well. Okay, frames. Ooh. Hello. Awesome. What I'm gonna name you, Hubert. Named after the goat. You'll see why in, however many weeks later. Ooh. Purple slug. Spider.
She's acquired. Initial data suggest there are, however, numerous cavities on their head which could fulfill a similar function.
Oh.
The strange alien matter, colloquially known as SAM.
Ah, there you are. There's some SAM. No, not SAM. Therium.
This metallic element is showing properties similar to those in Group 11
Okay.
on the periodic
Now!
table.
Ah, right. Ooh, cast screws. Cast screws are really good.
Now be found with the resource Deuterium. No potential for making tool belt expanded.
So, the parachute. It might not seem like it is, but this is actually one of the best ways to explore the game. The reason why is because if you have a wall that's like ever so slightly tilted at an angle that is less than 90 degrees, you can do this. Yep, that is climbing. You too can now become a goat. That's everything I wanted to do right now. Tomorrow, we'll do coal power. That is the plan.
Welcome to the Project Assembly Pioneer Progress presentation. Congratulations, the phase 1 project parchment is now ready for delivery. On delivery, phase 1 will be completed and the distribution platform will be started. After completion of phase 1, the technologies of tiers 3 and 4 will be available in the hub. Highlights are automated power, steel production, cell fabrication, and many more. Completing phase 2 of project assembly is your next main objective. New project parts will need to be produced to deliver to the elevators as we've done previously. Continue to construct, automate, explore, and exploit for a better fixed future. Phase 1 of Project Assembly completed. Continue the work for Ficsit. It is time to start the work on Phase 2 of Project Assembly.
Awesome.
Quote, the zapper kind of electrocutes things, the basher straight up smacks stuff.
Yeah, so this thing is really good. Methinks. And yeah, we want to do this next time. And we will. Alright. GG's. Right, so audio issues should be now ironed out by now. If they aren't, well, cope better to me. Hello, welcome back. Last time we finished the modular frame factory, and we also done copperworks, I believe. Yes. And we were just going to start full power. So hopefully today we will finish it. what I've done between days, or in the morning today, is I have moved the modular frame factorial up a little bit over here, such that it can be manifolded. Alright. But now we have run out of power once more because... I didn't need 1,000. What? Why did you do that now? But didn't do it later.
Milestone
Tier 3 is all about
power
coal.
production can
Be it
now
using for
fully
power
automated
or for
by
steel.
burning coal, which has been added to the resource scanner.
Right, so I have an ideal source hole available in a fairly discrete location. We want to go over here because it's water source and a bunch of coal. So what you can do is now we have unlocked the color customizer, and this allows us to, well, you know, customize our materials. So to give you an example, what you can do is just add this to like swatches to any machine that you might want to know what does. Everything have a nice color to it, and I like it. Right then though. Fire too long. Brother. Brother! Oh my god, the gas. I just saw that 0 days since last incident. Hard. I'm guessing, I'm gonna predict it. There's not gonna be a single time that it's gonna reach three digits. Bingo. So here is our free, actually. Water. Yeah, so here is our coal plants. They're all pure. 1. Yeah, whatever, sure. Did you know that you can place foundations underwater? With this, you can place water extractors to it. Yeah, like so. So, coal power. Very, like, that simple. Like, the probably top 10 most simplest things to do in this game. So, if you have a pure node, you get yourself 8 coal power generators. Get yourself 3 water extractors. Everything is that simple. You hook this up. And what I'll do, I'll get a pipeline section. So. And it'll just kind of work. I will connect them. Like so. Yeah, so that is quite simple. You just need to, just literally just connect all of these, and then send the water in one way over here, and then in another way over here, and this will be rerouted to like so. And yeah, this will pump the water in a loop, basically. Now I just need to put in the coal power, and we should be good. The coal itself. Right, not wasting time. More time we waste, the more likely we are to get a power blackout. Yeah. XD. Supports in the middle. And yeah, I can just have them as such. I don't really mind having a splitter splitting water, but you know, water, really many clicks. There we go. That's much better. So I'll just send it down the middle of edge, each one of these, and just have them like so. I won't do anything fancy with them, I just want them to function. These will retire anyways, eventually. It will be like the backline of our power production in what come later game. Stick down the middle of these two. And connect. Yep, and the last thing we need to do is to power these ones as well, because they do need power. So there's a method of just using one pipeline pump for the entire pipeline, which is called water tower, and it allows you just use one, basically. Yeah. But I don't really know how it works, so I'm not gonna do it. Of course. Did I just run out? I did just run out. Fantastic. Phenomenal. Well then, I'm gonna go back. This should be able to kickstart itself. Then on Hubert, actually. Hello. How are you doing? Thank you. Oh. Lovely dog. Alright. God damn it. Ah, of course. Of course, of course, of course. 100 trillion more money to Israel. Here. And yeah. There we go. Okay, now we can have this back on. It will even out, so doesn't really matter. Alright, next step. Probably go around and show off everything that we've made so far. So we obviously have the coal power plants, the concretes. We have basic ironworks with rotors. Well, we have reinforced plates. We have the copper works over there, where it produces wires, cables, and copper sheets. We also have that over there, which is the modular frameworks. And then we obviously have the space elevator over here. You know, kind of have to try to miss that. And obviously over there, I don't want to bother going there, but there is obviously coal power plants. So yeah, I guess that'll do it for this episode, I suppose. I could go around and collect a bunch of like random stuff for like an hour. Get some goodies, get some supplies, and run away. Oh well, whatever. I'm satisfied. I think that's it then. Now bells are tolling. Yeah, so that's the end. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you next time for episode 2. Good game. Good game. Good game. And farewell.